Welcome to our channel StudyWise Official. Today we are going to learn some important formulae regarding nCr. So while solving permutation combination questions, binomial theorem questions or questions related to sequence and series regarding nCr, we fall short of nCr formulae, and that's why we won't be able to finish the sum. Over here, we are going to understand and learn the most important formulae which relate to nCr. So there are in total 5 important formulas. The first formula is nCr equal to nCn minus r, and then the second formula is nCr plus nCr plus 1 is equal to n plus 1 Cr. The third formula is nCr by nCr plus 1 equal to r plus 1 upon n minus r. The fourth formula is nCr equal to n by r n minus 1 Cr minus 1, which is equal to n by r n minus 1 upon r minus 1 n minus 2 Cr minus 2. And the last and the most important formula is kck, k plus 1 ck, k plus 2 ck plus k plus 3 ck and so on up to k plus n ck will be equal to k plus n plus 1 c k plus 1. So let's start with the first formula, which is nCr equal to nCn minus r. Let us understand what is nCr. nCr is selection of r objects out of n different objects. Now understand this thing, that if you are selecting r objects, this is as good as a rejection of remaining objects. Remaining object means remove r objects from n, the remaining objects would be n minus r objects, right? Let me give you an example. If you are selecting 3 people out of 10 different people, that means you are rejecting 7 people. So selection of 3 people should be equal to rejection of 7 people. So nCr is equal to nCn minus r. Very simple, right? And that is how it is. I can give you one more example. This was a logical explanation. If I give you this nCr equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial into the bracket r factorial, that is your nCr. But if you solve nCn minus r, you will get n factorial, n minus r factorial, and then n minus r factorial, which is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial, and n got cancelled, minus minus plus r factorial, nCn minus r. So that is equation 2. This is equation 1. From equation 1 and 2, as you can see, nCr is equal to nCn minus r. Pretty simple, right? But still, I like this. Selection of r objects is as good as rejection of n minus r objects, and that is the reason nCr is equal to nCn minus r. This is very important and useful when you are calculating something like this 100C98. Now this is very difficult to calculate, right? So what we will do is we will calculate 100C2. We will calculate 100C2, which is very easier to calculate. Now let us move on to the next formula. Next formula is nCr plus nCr plus 1 equal to n plus 1 Cr plus 1. Now how do we do this? Let's understand on the next slide. So first of all, the formula is nCr plus nCr plus 1 equal to n plus 1 Cr plus 1. How do I explain this? I explain this as the sum of consecutive nCrs. These are consecutive nCrs, as you can see. Let me take an example, 10C4 plus 10C5. These are consecutive NCRs, and you can see 4 and 5. Which is the bigger one? Bigger one is 5, so it will survive. And which is the top one? The top one is 10, n value, that will increase by 1, and that is 11. Let me give you one more example. 15C5 plus 15C4. Which is the bigger one? Bigger one is 5, so that will survive, and the top one is 15, so that will increase by 1. That is how it is. I can take one more example. Let us say 20C8 plus 20C7. These are consecutive NCRs, and which is the bigger one? 8, so that will survive, and the top one was 20, so that remained increased by 1, 21C8. Now let us see the mathematical explanation. NCR plus NCR plus 1. So that would be n factorial r factorial n minus r factorial plus n factorial upon r plus 1 factorial n minus r minus 1 factorial. Now which is the bigger one? R factorial or r plus 1 factorial? So definitely r plus 1 is the bigger one. And in n minus r and n minus r minus 1, which is the bigger one? Definitely n minus r. So bigger ones are needed to be converted to the smaller ones. So r factorial n minus r minus 1 factorial. And over here we have n factorial r plus 1 into r factorial, and n minus r factorial remains as it is. Now I could take commons here, so I take n factorial r factorial and n minus r minus 1 factorial common. What remains inside is 1 upon n minus r, 1 upon r plus 1. Now I'll cross multiply the inner addition, so I would get something like this: n minus r plus 1 upon r plus 1 into n minus r. So what remains here, this r got cancelled. I got n plus 1 into n factorial. Then I got r plus 1 into r factorial, this r plus 1 and this r, n minus r and n minus r minus 1 factorial. So I can say this is nothing but n plus 1 factorial. We already know this, that 10 factorial is 10 into 9 factorial. So 10 into 9 factorial could be written as 10 factorial. So that is how we get r plus 1 into r factorial as r plus 1 factorial, and n minus r minus 1 factorial would be n minus r factorial. Now this could be written as n plus 1 factorial upon r plus 1 factorial, and then both have this same subtraction. Check it out. N plus 1 minus r plus 1 comes out to be n minus r, so adjusted. So this is very simply n plus 1 c r plus 1. So that is how we could derive these very two important formulae: NCR equal to NC n minus r and NCR plus NCR plus 1 equal to n plus 1 CR. In the next part of the video, we will see the derivation for the remaining three formulae. Till then, bye bye guys.